Let's do it, baby. Reacting to popular weight loss tips. It worked for the celebrities. The celebrities are talking about it.
Maybe it'll work for you.
Does Trainer Joe sound off and sign off on these tips? Let's get right into them, Trainer Joe.
All right.
The first one is Jennifer Hudson.
Remember her from American Idol?
Yes, correct. Avoid eating late at night and early in the morning. She said that the keys to maintaining her impressive weight loss is to follow common sense when it comes to meal timing. I'm very careful and cautious of what I'm eating. If it's early in the morning, I tell myself, okay, I would still be asleep right now, so I'm not going to eat.
Can I just hit it?
Oh, please, that's what
May
we're here
I
for.
hit
Let's
it?
go, baby.
All right. The reason she lost weight is because she ate less food. Next. That's great. And I like that. Yes, do that. But what you're going to end up finding is that people that are losing weight are taking in fewer calories. Whatever we end up talking about, now let's look at them and let's touch on each one.
Man.
But her main
Short
thing she
and
did,
sweet.
the main thing she did was eat fewer calories. What else you got?
She said, or it says, the article says, and although she didn't cite specific hours during which she eats or fasts, the approach follows recent research that suggests limiting your eating hours can protect you from weight gain.
Can protect you from overeating. Yes, it makes it easier not to overeat. When there's a saying that total abstinence is easier than perfect moderation. Total abstinence. It's just easier. I just don't have to think about it. I'm not going to eat. And so, yes, a lot of people should do that, and they would do well. My number one weight loss tip around the world is stop eating at 7:30.
Worldwide.
All
right. Tip number 2. Eat salad at every meal. This one was made popular by Snooki from Jersey Shore. She says she credits her postpartum weight loss to laying off carbs and amping up her veggie intake. Salad is always on the menu with whatever dish I'm making.
Okay, good. Duh. All right.
Trainer Joe is coming out.
Eat salad. Yeah, no kidding.
Swinging.
Okay,
I
think everybody understands salad's better than what do you call them? Those square things, a brownie.
Okay, all right. This one might be a little more. You may have a little more to say on this one.
These are
I've done all the
pretty
talking.
easy.
The next one is make wellness, not weight loss, your goal. This one was made popular by Lena Dunham. I believe she's, I'm not going to go into who she is. For the record, is not trying to lose weight, not even a little. Right now, I'm struggling to control my endometriosis through a healthy diet and exercise, and so forth.
Yeah.
So that one, make wellness, not weight loss, your goal.
2 ways of looking at that. One is if you have an illness and you have a protocol, a doctor, your whatever, who's helping you, wants you to eat certain things, that's fine, whatever. If weight loss is not your priority, then who cares? Yeah, then do whatever you want to do for your health issue. That's fine. But when people come to me and they're 50 pounds overweight and they say, I just want to get healthier. I'm like, bro, that's great. And a lot of people go there because it just seems more virtuous than wanting to lose weight. Obviously we want to be healthier. But I'm going to tell you, I was in the life insurance business for many years. And when you walked in and you were morbidly obese, I knew I couldn't insure you. I didn't know if you had endometriosis. I just knew we are not going to insure somebody that's living at this level of risk.
You really could not insure them?
Not without rating it, and oftentimes that's all it took. You get to a certain weight, we weren't going to insure you. You look at the Metropolitan Life Insurance charts on height and weight and what's ideal, and when they look at your weight and say we can't insure you, they're not asking about your endometriosis. Not that it's not important. They don't ask about your family history, whether you've had a stroke, whether you have prostate issues. It's like you're just too big, and they know that's going to be a problem. So when you're doing my program, a lot of people will say, I just want to be healthy. And I'm like, fine. If you lose 100 pounds, guess what? You're going to be way healthier than you are now. So it is a byproduct of losing weight unless you're doing something, pardon the word, stupid to lose weight, right? If you're smoking so that you eat less. Okay, well that's not an improvement. If you're just getting drunk all the time and that helps you not eat, that's not an improvement.
So ultimately, you're kind of calling bullcrap on the I'm after wellness, and then they in their minds, it's working, but they're still 75 pounds overweight.
They're still looking. Oftentimes, when they say I just want to be healthy, they're like, because I tell you what, I don't want to eat less. I don't want to eat any less than I'm eating, but I'll get healthier. To be fair, I'm not talking about every single person, but a lot of times when they're like, I just want to be healthy, they're nervous that they're going to have to change some of the things they're eating that they don't want to change. They still want to eat certain things, but they'll add healthy things a lot of times, but they're scared about what they're going to have to give up.
Trainer Joe is getting savage in this video, and I don't know, man. Maybe I'm just used to it.
I've been doing this for 12 years with thousands of people, and I'm just telling you.
Yeah, maybe I've kind of gotten used to it, but it just every time it's refreshing to me. I'm sorry if it's coming across a little too intense, but I like it. I hope you guys like it. The next one is Kim Kardashian advocates for including protein in every meal.
Agree. Get protein with every meal. I think that's a good way to make sure you get enough protein when you're restricting your calorie intake.
Next one is from Victoria Beckham. It says she has eaten the same meal of fish and vegetables for 25 years, according to her husband, David.
Wow. That's interesting. A lot of people would say, I don't want to do that. They like variety. Everything has a trade-off. You want to simplify it? You find a meal that's healthy, that can sustain you, and that's what you eat. What are you going to say about that? What negative thing can you say? Now, if you're like, well, she's not getting enough nutrition. Well, apparently she is. She's not in the hospital. So there may be...
vegetables is probably pretty well rounded.
There may be something she's deficient in, and she's going to take a vitamin or something. So I've known other people that way, and it's like, if you can just keep it simple and you're happy with life, I think that touches on something that so many people find their happiness in the variety of foods, how much foods they get to eat, their desserts, their treats. She obviously doesn't. Ooh. Or she obviously has said, you know what? It's worth it to me. Look at everything she's missing out on. But look at what she's getting. And that's what everybody's going to have to decide. Look at what you're missing out on and look at what you're getting.
Let me ask you this. You, as someone who's obviously very invested and has this pretty well figured out, do you have any meals that are almost identical every single day?
Yeah, I'm pretty consistent. I think most people, if they looked at it, they would find there's a consistency. There's a pattern of how they eat. And so, yes, I think so. And I sometimes think about what I'm missing out on. Because I go to the airport, I don't get the Cinnabon and the big chocolate whatever and all that stuff. Except for rarely. And I do feel like, man, I'm missing out on this. But then I'll look at what I'm gaining and I'm like, that's a smart move for me. Mm-hmm. I would like those things, but the smart move for me is to pass on it. Yeah,
the trade-off is...
It's a trade-off.
Good enough. And the freedom to eat. Say it. What's the freedom quote?
The freedom to say no. The freedom to have what you truly want, most deeply want. Do you want something more deeply than the variety in your eating? Well, some people would say, no, I don't want to live if I can't have that. Okay, and that shows.
It's good. The next one was by our very own Rebel Wilson.
Rebel Wilson.
Who lost a lot of weight. She says,
a lot of weight.
Or Rebel Wilson reportedly used the, how do you say, what was that?
Mayor method, M-A-Y-R.
Method to lose weight, cutting out sugar, dairy, and gluten, and chewing each bite of food 40 times. Is there something to slowing down your consumption drastically?
You can do whatever goofy thing you want to do.
He's calling it goofy.
And if it helps you, that's fine. But that's kind of silly. Okay, next.
My gracious.
Rebel, good for you. I'm glad that worked.
Oh my. Aaron Rodgers does a cleanse involving a strict diet, warm ghee.
It's like butter, yeah, like clarified butter or something. Yeah.
G-H-E-E.
Ghee.
In the morning and laxatives at night.
The old laxatives at night, yeah.
What do you think about
hopefully you don't need that.
I've heard good things about cleanses.
Yeah, and detox teas. People do detox teas, and they like that, but that's shouldn't be necessary. That's kind of goofy, in my opinion. Detox.
All right.
Laxatives.
So you've gone on a little bit of a bashing.
Now Aaron obviously is doing some things right. Obviously he's
here's an interesting one.
Amazing athlete, but I wouldn't go with that direction.
All right.
Unnecessary.
Here's an interesting one. Venus Williams.
Uh-huh.
Many consider her the GOAT, top 5 athlete of all time. Okay, maybe of the last 20 years.
Man, if she could have gotten one more 2 championships, because Margaret Court is still ahead of her, and Venus didn't hit it. And I would say, before you even say
Venus
what
or
she
Serena?
did.
Serena.
Serena. Who are you talking about?
Oh, Venus. Oh, I guess it's Venus on this one.
No, we got to talk Serena.
I was thinking, Serena is the one that we had talked about earlier, but it says Venus Williams and Anne Hathaway have both tried a raw vegan diet. How do you feel about raw vegan diets for losing weight? You give that the thumbs up?
Raw vegan diet for losing weight? Go ahead. Why would you do that? It's totally unnecessary, right? Totally unnecessary. Matter of fact, you're making it harder on yourself. You're making it more difficult to be healthy when you go vegan. Now, you may have your reasons for it, and that's fine. You can still do it and be healthy, but it is harder. You're removing some of the most nutrient-rich foods there are when you do that, but that's fine. Go ahead. Everybody's got their thing. That's fine. I think you want to talk about Serena for a minute. She's the...
Let's talk about Serena, because I was watching a Point Break on Netflix. Really cool show, deep dives in the lives of tennis players.
Yeah.
And it showed this girl that was about to take on Serena. I think it was the U.S. Open 2022. And I guess I hadn't watched Serena recently, but she was a big girl out there. For a professional tennis player, I would say she probably had 50 to 60 pounds on her opponent. And I was just like, wow. How
much of that was because she was taller?
She was just much bigger.
Okay.
In every sense of the word.
Yeah, well, if you go back to when she started to where she is, she's probably, in my opinion, 50 pounds heavier than where she was. Now, to her credit, she decided to have a family, get married and have a family. I'm all for that. I will say, had she maintained the weight she was when she started, like many athletes do, Steffi Graf stayed about the same, Martina Navratilova stayed about the same, Djokovic stayed about the same. You go to football, you look at these quarterbacks, they maintain their weight for 15, 20 years as long as they play.
NBA players actually get more thin.
Yeah. So Serena, I think she had an option, and she chose to have kids, and after having the baby, did not make maintaining that lean body the top priority. And that is totally her choice. Matter of fact, I applaud her having kids instead of focusing on her career to the extent that she chose to do that. I think you applaud that. I also think had she maintained a fitter body, she would have surpassed Margaret Court and been the greatest tennis player ever. And I hope I'm saying this in a way that only about half the people hate my guts instead of 2/3.
How dare you?
But that's the reality. We all have choices. She made hers, and that's what she got.
How dare you go after the GOAT?
She's amazing. Loved watching her. Amazing. But she gained too much weight to continue winning at the level that she was when she started.
All right, this one's interesting. It's from our very own. This actor is up there for both of us, I believe. Chris Pratt did a fast.
Yeah, Wonder Man. What's he? Superman or something? Let's see.
No.
Thor.
No.
Come on.
Star-Lord. Chris Pratt did a fast called the Daniel Diet or Daniel Fast.
Oh, yeah.
We're very familiar with that.
A lot of churches
which
do that.
Which is inspired by the Bible. Daniel Fast, isn't that a really...
Rick Warren did that one.
Oh, did he? Isn't it really focused on vegetables?
Fruits, vegetables, whole foods, yeah.
Okay.
Keep
Fruits,
certain
vegetables,
things
and maybe
out.
nuts.
And focus on God in the process of it.
None of the king's luxuries.
Right.
How do you feel about someone that is trying to lose weight with the Daniel Fast?
It's fine. I think that some people ask me, is your plan like the Daniel Fast? And I'm like, well, we focus more on a changed mindset. Daniel Fast is let's eat like Daniel did and maybe make it a spiritual exercise. And I do think it almost always is a spiritual exercise. Weight loss is not primarily physical. It's mental, emotional, and spiritual. So whether you want it to be or not, it's going to dig in there and do some things for you. So I'm fine with the Daniel Fast.
Last question.
I don't see anything special with that. Would you do Whole30 or whatever else? But if you want to turn it into a spiritual endeavor more so, that's great.
Your food list versus the food that someone eats on the Daniel Fast, is it pretty similar? Or are there some significant...
Mine is more comprehensive. We have things on my list that Whole30 is not going to have. We're a little more generous on our list. And it's funny because even when people are doing my program, they're like, well, can I have that? Can I have that? And I'm like, if it's on the list, you can have it. If not, get over it. This is 21 days to teach you to look at things a little differently and do without some things you're used to eating. We're working on a mindset change. So our list is more comprehensive than just about any plan that provides a list.
Yeah. Well, if you guys want to see the Trainer Joe food list, jump into the next 21-day transformation. Click the link below. You get real time, virtual, but you get to actually interact with the Trainer Joe who's going to help you.
We use an app where we can interact. You ask questions. I see them, and I love to respond to those.
Go deep, and this program is one of the best out there. I'm a huge fan. Also, the book, It's Only Food, has his food list as well. You can get that on Amazon. The link is below. I feel like, Trainer Joe, you kind of bashed a lot of the... No, I would say it's pretty even. You bashed a decent amount of them pretty mercilessly.
They deserve it. They deserve it. It's so much silliness out there. We got to come together, people, with some reasonable stuff here that works that you can do for the rest of your life.
How did you guys feel like Trainer Joe did reacting to these popular, well, a lot of them were these celebrities and how they lost the weight? Do you feel like he was balanced and fair, or did he go?
Do you like their plans better or my plan better?
Hey, seriously, weigh in. I'm curious to see how these comments go. All right, guys, be blessed.
Yes.
We'll see you very soon. Trainer Joe, train your brain.
And transform your body.